The old stadium lights flickered, casting long, dancing shadows across the field. My name is Leo, and I was the last one left, practicing my penalty kicks long after everyone else had gone home. The stadium, the cauldron, they called it, had a reputation. They said it was built on an old burial ground, that you could hear whispers in the wind on quiet nights. I always laughed it off. Just ghost stories, to spook the rookies. The air was unusually cold tonight, the kind that seeps into your bones. I set the ball on the penalty spot, took a few steps back, and ran up to it. The moment my boot connected, all the stadium lights went out, plunged into absolute darkness. My heart hammered against my ribs. I froze, listening. Silence. A thick, heavy silence that felt like a blanket. Probably just a power surge, I told myself, my voice trembling slightly as I whispered it aloud. Then I heard it, a soft thud, the sound of the ball I just kicked hitting the back of the net. But how? I couldn't see a thing. My eyes strained, trying to adjust to the gloom. A sliver of moonlight broke through the clouds, illuminating the goalpost at the far end of the field. The net was still empty. The ball was gone. A chill, not from the cold, snaked up my spine. I started backing away, fumbling for my phone in my bag. The screen flared to life, its light a pathetic little circle in the vast darkness. I pointed it towards the goal. Nothing. I swept the light across the empty stands, seat by empty seat, row after row of silent, watching plastic. My breath hitched. One had to get out of there. I turned and started jogging towards the players' tunnel, my cleats echoing unnervingly on the turf. The sound was too loud. It felt like I was announcing my every move. Then another sound joined mine, a faint, rhythmic thumping. Thump. 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 It was a football being dribbled, somewhere behind me, in the dark. I stopped dead. The dribbling stopped too. My blood ran cold. I wasn't alone. "Hello?" I called out, trying to sound braver than I felt. "Is someone there?" "Coach, is that you?" The only reply was the wind whistling through the stadium's steel frame, sounding like a mournful cry. I broke into a sprint, my lungs burning. The tunnel entrance seemed miles away. The dribbling started again, faster this time, closer. Thump, 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 thump. It was keeping pace with me. I didn't dare look back. I just ran, my heart threatening to burst out of my chest. The sound was right behind me now, so close I could almost feel the vibrations through the soles of my shoes. Then, the sound changed. It wasn't a dribble anymore. It was a scrape, the sound of cleats dragging on concrete. I finally reached the tunnel, a concrete maw leading under the stands. It was even darker inside. Primera plunged, in using my phone's light to guide my way. The scraping noise followed me, echoing horribly in the confined space. Scrape! 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 It sounded wet. Labored, I glanced over my shoulder, just for a second, and saw something that will haunt my dreams forever. A figure was emerging from the field into the tunnel entrance. It was tall and unnaturally thin, dressed in an old, tattered football kit from decades ago. Its movements were jerky, wrong. One of its legs was twisted at an impossible angle, dragging uselessly behind it, making that hideous scraping sound, and it had no face. Just a smooth blank surface of skin where its eyes, nose, and mouth should have been. A scream tore from my throat. I stumbled, falling hard onto the concrete floor. My phone flew from my hand, skittering across the ground before the screen blinked and died. Complete darkness again. I was trapped. I could hear it getting closer. Scrape. Scrape. My hand scrambled across the grimy floor, desperately searching for my phone, for any escape. My fingers brushed against something. Not my phone. It was round and leathery. A football. A football. I recoiled, shuffling backward on my hands and knees until my back hit the cold, damp wall. The scraping stopped. It was right in front of me. I could hear a faint, wet breathing, a gurgling sound, like someone breathing through water. I held my own breath, praying it couldn't hear my heart. which was now a frantic drum against my ribs. An eternity passed in that silence. Then a voice whispered, right next to my ear. It was raspy, ancient. "Wanna play?" Suddenly, the emergency lights in the tunnel flickered on, bathing everything in a sickly, buzzing orange glow. The figure was standing right over me. Its faceless head tilted. It wasn't holding a ball. Its head asterisk, was asterisk. The ball, stitched together like an old leather football, with seams running across its blank face. I screamed and scrambled to my feet, pushing past it. I didn't care where I was going. I just ran. Doors flew by locker rooms, press rooms, all dark and abandoned. I found a stairwell and clambered up, taking the steps 3 at a time. The scraping sound was gone, replaced by frantic, pounding footsteps behind me. It was running now, running with a normal gait. It was getting faster. I burst out into the VIP lounge, its glass windows overlooking the pitch. I slammed the heavy wooden door shut and fumbled with the lock. It clicked just as a thunderous bang shook the door, and another, and another. The thing was throwing itself against the door, the wood groaning and splintering under the assault. Primera basket Hawaii. My eyes wide with terror, scanning the room for another way out. My gaze fell upon the field below. The moonlight was brighter now, illuminating the pitch clearly, and what I saw made my stomach drop. The field wasn't empty. Dozens of those figures were there. A full team, all wearing the same tattered, ancient kits. All faceless. They were playing. The low game, but they weren't using a ball. They were kicking and heading a freshly severed head. The game stopped, one by one. They all slowly turned their blank faces up towards the VIP lounge window. Towards me. The banging on the door stopped. I heard a new sound. A click, the sound of the lock on the door behind me. Slowly. Turning, I was trapped. The game was over, and it was my turn to play. They say the cauldron always demands a price for victory. I guess now I know what that price is. Don't ever stay late at the stadium. Don't ever play alone in the dark, because they're always watching. And they're always looking for new players. Thanks for listening. If you see me on the field next time, don't cheer, just run.